Namaskaram. I tell them there is no shortcut, but there is a way of elegance and ease. This path emerges when three powerful elements converge: breath, Kriya, and devotion. In the next few minutes, I will share with you how these three pillars, when integrated, can transform your spiritual journey from struggle to flowering. This is not mere theory, but a practical approach rooted in ancient wisdom and supported by modern science. Let us explore how you can apply this knowledge to your own life and practice. Breath, you see, is not just about oxygen. It is the very pendulum of life, swinging between existence and non-existence with every inhalation and exhalation. If this pendulum stops, life itself comes to a halt. The yogic sciences have long understood that by regulating this pendulum, we can influence our very destiny. Modern science is now catching up to this ancient wisdom. A fascinating study published in Nature Human Behavior in 2021 revealed that conscious breathing directly alters brain rhythms, particularly in areas associated with emotion and memory. This means that your breath is not merely air moving in and out. It is, in essence, a remote control for your nervous system. When you breathe with awareness, you are not just oxygenating your blood. You are sending signals to your brain, recalibrating your emotional state, and even influencing how you process and store memories. This is why in yoga, we emphasize pranayama, the science of breath control. It is not just an exercise. It is a tool for transformation. Now, let us move to the second pillar, Kriya. Kriya, in its essence, means interaction. These are not random movements or exercises, but precisely designed yogic practices that serve a specific purpose to purify and align the nadis, our subtle energy channels. If we consider breath as the electrical current flowing through our system, then Kriya is the intricate wiring that directs this energy. Without proper wiring, energy scatters, dissipates, and may even cause harm. But with the right Kriya practices, this energy is channeled upward, awakening dormant potentials within us. The efficacy of these practices is not just mystical lore. Scientific research on Kundalini yoga practitioners has shown remarkable changes in brain function and structure. Studies have observed increased gamma brainwave activity, which is associated with heightened states of consciousness and cognitive function. Moreover, regular practitioners show increased gray matter in brain regions related to self-regulation and resilience to stress. What yogis have known and practiced for thousands of years, science is only now beginning to unravel and validate. This convergence of ancient wisdom and modern research offers us a unique opportunity to approach our spiritual practices with both reverence for tradition and the backing of scientific understanding. But even with perfect breath control and precise Kriya practice, there remains a potential obstacle: the ego. This is where the third pillar, devotion, becomes crucial. Devotion acts as a lubricant, smoothing the path of energy and dissolving resistance. Without devotion, spiritual practice can become mechanical, dry, and in some cases, even dangerous. The ego may co-opt the practice, leading to spiritual materialism or the inflation of self-importance. But when devotion enters the equation, everything changes. Every breath becomes a prayer, every Kriya an act of love. In this state, the entire system opens like a flower to the sun, ready to receive higher energies. The power of devotion is not just poetic metaphor. A 2020 study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found that devotional chanting increases the production of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This shift in body chemistry creates a state of trust and surrender, making the system more receptive to the flow of Kundalini energy. When we integrate these three elements, breath, Kriya, and devotion, we create a harmonious symphony within ourselves. Imagine, if you will, a complex electrical system. Breath is the electricity, the vital force that powers everything. Kriya is the intricate wiring, directing this force to where it's needed most. And devotion? Devotion is like the cooling water that prevents overheating, nourishing the entire system and allowing it to function at its optimal capacity. When these three come together in perfect alignment, the result is not just light but enlightenment. The Kundalini energy, often depicted as a coiled serpent at the base of the spine, begins to rise not through force or struggle, but through a natural, graceful unfolding. As you embark on this journey, remember that breath and Kriya are powerful tools, not to be taken lightly. Without the balancing influence of devotion, they can lead to an inflation of the ego. Without proper guidance, they may unbalance the system, leading to physical or psychological disturbances. This is why in traditional yogic lineages, these practices were always intertwined with a deep sense of surrender, be it to a guru, to the divine, or to the vast infinite itself. This surrender is not about blind faith or the abdication of personal responsibility. Rather, it is a recognition of our place within the cosmic order, an acknowledgement that we are part of something far greater than our individual selves. This perspective keeps us grounded even as we soar to new heights of consciousness. So, my dear ones, if you wish for Kundalini to rise gracefully within you, do not separate these three elements. Approach your breath not as mere oxygen, but as a current of awareness flowing through you. Practice Kriya not as physical exercise, but as a sophisticated inner technology designed to refine and elevate your energy. And let your devotion be not a ritual or a performance, but a living fire that purifies and transforms your entire being. When you integrate breath, Kriya, and devotion in this way, awakening ceases to be an accident or a rare occurrence. It becomes an inevitability, a natural flowering of your innate potential. You are not forcing the Kundalini to rise. You are creating the perfect conditions for it to awaken of its own accord. Imagine a garden. Breath is like the sunlight, essential for growth. Kriya is the careful tending, the watering, pruning, and nurturing of the plants. Devotion is the rich soil, providing nourishment and stability. When all these elements are present, the garden cannot help but flourish. In the same way, when you cultivate these three aspects within yourself, your spiritual growth becomes organic and effortless. As we conclude, I invite you to reflect on your own practice. Are you giving equal importance to all three aspects? Or have you been focusing on one at the expense of the others? Perhaps you've mastered breath control, but neglected the heart-opening quality of devotion. Or maybe you're deeply devoted, but haven't explored the transformative power of Kriya. Remember, true mastery lies not in perfecting one aspect, but in harmonizing all three. Start where you are. If breathwork comes easily to you, use that as your foundation and gradually incorporate more Kriya and devotion into your practice. If you're naturally devotional, let that be your strength as you explore the more technical aspects of breath and Kriya. The key is to approach your practice with patience, persistence, and above all, love. Do not chase Kundalini awakening like a prize to be won or a peak to be conquered. Instead, breathe consciously, practice sincerely, and love intensely. Create within yourself a temple of breath, a sanctuary of Kriya, and an altar of devotion. Then, my dear ones, you will find that the serpent of Kundalini does not need to be forced or coerced. It dances, rising gracefully through your being, illuminating every cell with divine light. This is not just poetic imagery, it is a lived reality available to each one of you. So go forth with this knowledge. Let every breath be a reminder of your connection to the cosmic life force. Let every practice be an act of self-refinement. Let every moment be infused with devotion to the highest truth. In doing so, you align yourself with the very rhythm of the universe. Namaskaram.